Hey boys and girls, it's your boy King Jiffy Coats, and we are starting a Creepcast knockoff. We are Creepcast from Wish, Creepcast from AliExpress. You can tell my camera quality is worse than the worst camera quality in the world, dude. I look like a analog horror show. Why just looking at this camera? It's absolutely garbage. But I am King Jiffy Coats. I run a little gaming and commentary channel over on YouTube, obviously. And I'll let Ben introduce himself.
I'm Ben from Not One Games. I make video game essays on anything weird, niche, or sus.
There we go, there we go. And we know that we don't have the type of pull of Meat Canyon or Wendigoon, and we're not trying to replace those guys. They're sweet, sweet boys with sweet, buttery voices, and we're just trying to bite off a little piece of our own space and have a little fun as we go along. We're probably a little more crass than both of them. Maybe not Meat Canyon, but we do our best. And I figure the best way to intro a new channel about horror stories is to read something short for you guys. So we're going to jump into something called Wristbands. And I'm going to let Ben and Nat One Games carry it away.
When you are admitted to a hospital, they place on your wrist a white wristband with your name on it. But there are other different colored wristbands which symbolize other things. The red wristbands are placed on dead people. There was a surgeon who worked on night shift in a school hospital. He had just finished an operation and was on his way down to the basement. He entered the elevator, and there was just one other person there. He casually chatted with the woman while the elevator descended. When the elevator door opened, another woman was about to enter when the doctor slammed the close button and punched the button to the highest floor. Surprised, the woman reprimanded the doctor for being rude and asked why he did not let the other woman in. The doctor said, "That was the woman I just operated on.
You took
She died."
You took the one job I got, pal. I got one job. I got one job in this entire universe, and you cooked me. You cooked me, dude. No take two. I'm just taking over here. That was the woman that just operated on. She died in the wild. I was doing an operation. Didn't you see the red wristband she was wearing?
The woman smiled, raised her arm, and said,
"Something like this?" Oh, spooky! I bet you guys are just come in your pantalones and are like shivering in the corner. There's an alternate ending here, and I will give we'll alternate paragraphs on this one. Just give it a little bit of a vibe to hear this alternate ending, because you know somebody put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into making this 2-sentence story a little bit more scary. I mean, what are your thoughts on that so far, though?
I mean, it's a perfect little, like, 2-sentence horror story, basically. I mean, it's a lot more than 2 sentences, but, I mean, for as many paragraphs as you could fit, just straightforward as hell. It's got everything it needs. It's got a setup and then a subversion.
Yeah,
and
I mean, that's true. That's true.
When she
oh, my goodness, you're dead too? I don't know, it's so stupid, but I mean, that's kind of the fun of these stories, is I know we're going to run into a lot of dumb ones down the line, and if this is the dumbest, I think we've won. But I'll start off this alternate ending to see if it's any better. There was a slight stench in the... Jeez, this is why you do most of the narrating. There was a slight stench of dried blood in the air. The doctor froze, paralyzed by fear. He could feel the beads of sweat slowly trickling down his face. He tried to open the elevator doors, but the lights flashed out. The only thing he could see was the red wristband and the patient's bright red eyes. There was a sudden snapping sound, and the elevator started to free fall. In between the elevator doors, he could see a flash of light. Every time they passed the floor, the slivers of lights shone through onto the patient. Okay,
He's no longer wearing a robe.
Oh, so for a second I thought this was going to be a bunch of multiple endings. I thought it was like a bunch of one-shot new endings, but then it's just a whole ass new longer ending.
We just get a whole... This is like the unofficial part 2 right here.
Zack Snyder cut. Because Superman wasn't cool enough, we gave him back his mustache.
Alternate, the director's cut now.
Yeah, exactly.
He was no longer wearing a robe. She wasn't even a she anymore.
I thought we were going to see some boobies. I really thought we were getting boobies.
Subverted.
No boobies. Just shadows.
Red wristbands. It started to crack and creak as it moved towards the doctor. He was trapped in the corner. Nowhere to run. No one to hear him scream. How fucking long is this elevator shaft? The figure got closer with every flash of light. The doctor looked away and never looked back. But at the last moment, the elevator came to an abrupt stop. The lights were still out, but he could feel the shadow figure breathing on him.
He turned his head slowly. As soon as he locked eyes with the empty red eyes of the figure, he blacked out. Oh my god, it's I don't know if you know about this, but old writing back in the day when like Frankenstein first came out. So one of the tropes that you run into with Frankenstein all the time is instead of not knowing how to transition to the next scene, they're like, well, then he just passed out. He just took a little nappy poo, boys. He just went to sleep and every single time. And it was one of the weirdest things in high school reading Frankenstein. Great book, incredible novel, but every time they can't figure out what to do, well, he just took a nap.
You just faint. I recognize this trope very well. I had a main character once who suffered the exact same condition. He would just black out at the most opportune chapter breaks.
Oh no, chapter 7 starting. Well, I better take a bunch of NyQuil and be a desperate housewife.
Exactly. He woke up in a daze, lying in a hospital bed, wearing blue robes. He looked around frantically. Why was he in a bed? How did he get out of the elevator? The nurse was writing down some notes on a clipboard. She looked up and noticed he was awake.
Oh my god, you're awake! Good.
He could barely speak.
Oh,
with all his might, he spat out.
What happened?
She pulled a couple of papers out of a folder and read,
Well, some workers found you. You knocked out in the elevator. No permanent damage, sweet doctor. Just heat stroke. You'll be fine, don't worry.
The doctor let out a sigh of relief. It was all just a dream. Nothing happened at all.
It's all just a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Yeah, right.
Exactly, bro. Hitting it with that Biggie swag.
That's Biggie Smalls. This whole doctor's been Biggie Smalls the whole time. The nurse put the papers back in the folder, but stopped immediately as she looked at him. Her eyes bulged out of her head. She slowly stepped backwards out of the room. She ran down the hall, slamming the door behind her. He was in a state of paralysis again. Why'd she do that? What's going on? He looked around, at his torso, his feet, to his right. Then his eyes locked on his wrist. There it was.
A red wristband. Original author unknown, dude. This is funny. Like, this one, like, doesn't even know the original author. That's how classic this creepypasta is, bro. We don't have to ask permission for this one. By the way, I know this is the first video on the channel. If you write creepypasta stories and you want us to read them, go ahead and send them to us, because that's been one of the biggest like hurdles with setting this thing up, is making sure we message everybody and getting all that streamlined out. But you should expect like one of these every week. I love doing this. This is a blast. I'm excited to get into like not this. This was garbage.
Yeah, right. It gets better than wristbands. We wanted to set a baseline there.
I hope it gets better than wristbands. It's like,
Oh my god, he talked! I was just going to mount him.
like
that was so Blumhouse at the like both of those were just so Blumhouse, dude. That was the entire movie trailer was like red wristband, falling elevator.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Out, waking up. You're cool. You're good. Red wristband.
Oh,
coming this summer.
If this was read in like a creepy voice and put on like a TikTok feed, you know that there'd be some third grader obsessed with Roblox thinking this is the scariest thing ever. I mean, we all know we believed in what was it, the Russian sleep experiment? You remember hearing about that as a kid? And you're like, oh my god, can you believe what Russia did? Oh my, that's so crazy. And then you finally read it and you're like, oh okay, it's a little far-fetched. But everybody believed that video was real forever.
So if you don't want us to be stuck reading Russian sleep experiment and wristbands, you have to send us some good stories and the permission to read them.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do a lot on our own side, but if you think you write better than wristbands, definitely hit us up. But this is kind of just like a fun little promo we're doing. I hope you enjoyed the channel. Make sure to keep an eye out, because we're gonna be doing some big stuff right away starting next Friday. So. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be wacky. It's gonna be completely fucking bonkers.
Bonkers, even?
Yeah, absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But you got anything else for us, Ben?
I got nothing.
All right. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and let's signal boost this. I want the Creepcast guys to notice us.
Yes.
All right, we'll catch you on the next one.
Later.